Hi, my name's Anna. I'm from Stockland. Really interesting, so thank you for that. You mentioned that it's not therapy, and actually in a past previous life I was a music therapist, and obviously I majored in dementia. How do you differ in this, and how would you suggest bringing it into a community where people do like their independence, and this might be quite confronting for them in acknowledging that this might be helpful? They love it, but at the same time, you know, bringing someone else into their life to help them create their own playlist is also a bit, you're bringing someone else into your life. Have you had any experience with sort of that trust challenges as you've done this?
Yes, no, thanks so much. Great question. Firstly, the one about therapy. Everything that we're doing has a therapeutic impact. There's no doubt about it. It's just like yourself. I'm sure that you're many years degree trained as a music therapist, and very much music therapy is very much based around one-on-one or small groups, and this is very scalable. I mean, if you think about the fact that you've got a playlist, a lot of people in the room have got their own playlists. What we're doing is saying, you know, it's not really acceptable that someone can't get access to their own music anymore, you know, because you've got digital music on tap. And so a music therapist can in fact come in when you've got trouble trying to work out what that playlist might be. But ultimately, it's a series of very succinct questions about a person's music tastes, their history, their past, and also looking at, you know, what they did in their formative years from when they're around 16 to the ages of 25. And really thinking about the music there. I mean, it'd be an interesting exercise to ask each other, you know, what's your favourite music? And then the conversations that you have around that. I was talking to a CEO of a fairly conservative aged care group, and I couldn't believe it. His favourite music was Deep Purple. I actually thought it might have been Bach, but, you know, so it's great conversation. And in fact, I don't think that it's intrusive. It's all in how you ask. And it's those kinds of conversations that I think are just part of everyday conversations that are not threatening. I mean, it's really, what music do you like? How about we make a list for you and you can play it and listen to it when you're feeling a bit gloomy, or when you feel like you need to get up and exercise or move or whatever it might be. I mean, you know, music can help motivate people to do things as well. So, you know, when there's been a number of media articles and radio shows that have been done about music and memory since it started here a year ago, and we've got contacted quite often, even from lawyers who've wanted to understand how they could ask people about their music for advanced care planning, how they might want to die listening to their favourite music. So I think music's just part of our culture, and it's quite accepted, so I don't see that as being threatening. To your point about how to introduce it into retirement living, I'm not quite sure that I can answer that. As I said, this is quite new to me, and I'm very interested to explore it so that retirement villages can be accredited, as are hospitals, aged care facilities and community care services.
We had a question at the back.
Maggie, hi, Nicole Hickling from Folkestone. With the people with the music and the chap in the video there, do you see them are they actually remembering, are they connecting back to that person, or is it more about the enjoyment and the pleasure that brings them?
You know, it's all of that. It is both the joy and the emotion, but it's also the physical response. So music is, you know, it predates language. There's something about music that infiltrates the brain in lots of different ways. It can cause you to tap and move. So that's great in terms of, you know, rehabilitation and exercise, but it also affects your emotional centres, so, and your memories, your deep memories. So for Jimmy, where he wasn't able to express himself very easily because of his advancing dementia, he was able to sing and move with the music. You could just see it in his face that he was right there, back 58 years ago with Margaret, dancing to those favourite songs. And the beauty with that was that we could ask Margaret for that music. There's lots of techniques that anyone can learn around, you know, being a music detective to work out how do you make that playlist special. When I've spoken at aged care services and I hear, oh yeah, we've got that iPod program going. Well, what they've got is like 5 iPods that they share around to a group of people in a room, and honestly, it's not personalised. It becomes about genres, it's about jazz, or it could be, you know, about classical music or whatever it might be, but it's not personal to that person. And that's so important because it's got to tap into something that's meaningful. You only need to ask yourself, what do you like and what will make you feel better? And you can kind of get to it. But there's millions and millions and millions of songs, tunes, pieces of music out there. So it's important to get it right.